Hello guys! So today is my official very first day as to being 23 years old. Why? Like, I don't understand. Everywhere I go, dogs just have to be barking in the background. Excuse that, just understand that I am a woman with a lot of dogs. Also, my hair is wet because I have long hair, and if you've watched my How to Achieve Long Hair video, then you would know I hardly ever blow dry it or straighten it or anything. So it's just gonna be like this. And it is actually kind of cold today. Thank gosh. California is back to what I know, and that is the most perfect weather ever. But let's just get straight into this video. So, it being my first day as a 23-year-old, yesterday was my birthday. And my birthday was on a new moon, which I found so fascinating and so beautiful. Nothing is a coincidence. Gosh, so for my birthday, what I want to do is I want to get Reiki or Reiki. I can't pronounce this word, and I heard it 1,000 times, but yet I still for some reason don't know how to say it. That's just me. But it's the chakra healing, and basically what you do is you go to a Reiki or Reiki specialist, and they can see your aura, and they understand, okay, so I kind of went, let me back up. I went to this actually very blind. I watched a documentary on how important your chakras are, and I was reading all about, I just got super into chakras for some reason. I was like, alright, what's going on here? And I watched this whole entire video on Reiki healing and why you need to do it, blah 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 blah. So I literally was like, okay, that's what I want to do for my birthday, like no doubt about it. So I made an appointment. It was about an hour and a half long. The woman that I found was amazing. It was just her, and she had this beautiful little studio. And I just didn't really know what to expect because I watched so much about it, but every experience according to people is different, and I just didn't fully understand what the process was. They just kind of talk about how it's so important, but I didn't understand what you actually do. So I get in there, and it was already starting off so beautiful because she had me write down my intentions for this session on a piece of paper. And then I had to meditate with the piece of paper and allow my angels and guardians to come in and protect me through this transition. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? And then you light a candle and you put your little white piece of paper under the candle, and you light the candle and you say a prayer where you line the candle. And then you lay down, and first you lay on your back, so you do the front part of you. And she can feel what chakras need the most help. And my chakras that need the most help are my throat, my heart, and my pelvis area chakra. I don't know the exact names of my chakras. Like I said, I'm pretty new to this, so hopefully in the next few videos you guys will see me have more of a vocabulary on this. But my throat and my heart were the two main chakras that needed the most, which goes hand in hand with my psychic story about how they said I have a very hard time expressing my emotions, and she said that she had to pull out a lot of stuff out of my throat chakra. And I was like, wow, that's super interesting. And what was really cool about the experience was I was laying there, and you're in a deep meditation. There's meditation music going on. You already meditate before you go into it. So you're pretty in this trance. You're not necessarily there. You're definitely in this very spiritual space, in a very sacred space for yourself. And something kept telling me she can read your mind. She can read your mind. And I was like, what the heck is this thought? Why does this thought keep coming up? And at the end of the session, before she even met me, just the phone call, she was able to tap into me and my energy. And she wrote down these notes, not before even meeting me or seeing me. And she just wrote down these notes, and I was mind blown because they were the exact reasons as to why I was coming in and why I wanted to come in. And she already knew it, and I was just kind of really stunned by that. And then during some of the chakra, oh, and then you lay on your stomach and you do the back of you. And the back of you, which I didn't know, is for your past life. And she said that I have a lot of stuff in my past life. That was my more pelvis chakra. She said in my past life, I didn't heal from a lot of past life things in that chakra. And that's your sexuality, insecurities, intimacy, that kind of stuff. She said I haven't healed from something there. So she had to pull a lot of things out of that. So while I was on my stomach and she was doing the back of me, she said, do you want me to talk to you a little bit through this or after? And I want her to talk to me through it because she can hear my higher self. And what your higher self is that little voice inside of your head. You know, when you're driving down the freeway and something says there's a cop up there, slow down. And you kind of ignore that little voice and then all of a sudden you're pulled over because there was a cop. That little voice is your higher self. It takes care of you. It is with you at all times, guiding you, trying to help you get through this thing called life. And if you really are in tune, you understand that your higher self is what you want to be. And a lot of people that are into Reiki and auras and stuff, they can hear your higher self. They can hear what they want you to hear, and they're just more in tune with you. And she was just telling me that, I'm not going to go too far into what she was saying because it's super personal, but she was just telling me what my higher self wants me to know. And I'll share one thing with you because it's very significant to my life right now. But she was saying that your throat and your heart chakra are dealing with a lot because of the relationships you have with people. And she says your higher self wants you to step back and reevaluate all your relationships. She's like, I'm not talking about a relationship you're in or boyfriend-girlfriend kind of relationship. I'm talking about relationships with friends, family members, acquaintances, just in general. What is the key factor to why all these don't go the way you intend them to go? And the key factor that my higher self told me what it was, which is very true, is I always give more than I get. And that necessarily isn't a bad thing on my end. I definitely just give so much to people. I will do whatever it takes to make them happy, to make them have a great day, but when push comes to shove and I actually look at what they do for me, it's next to nothing. And I can definitely say that a lot of past relationships I've had with friends, acquaintances, just people in general, I had a lot of users around me and people that I don't think that they ever were in my life just to genuinely be around me. I think that they got things when they were around me and they had, I don't know, I'm still in search for that one relationship where it's just completely equal and not necessarily where I feel like I am doing so much work just to keep the person in my life. And the moment I stop doing work for a person, it's kind of like they disappear. And then that's what is the key factors. The moment Marissa stops working, the moment Marissa stops doing things for that person, the person's out of my life. And that's not a bad thing. That is a beautiful thing because I don't need people like that in my life. And my higher self, definitely, that was the huge message I got. That's the huge message I received yesterday, is to protect my heart and stop giving so much of myself to people. What I do is beautiful, but I have to make sure that I am getting things in return as well. Ah, there's a hawk. Wow. How beautiful. Right when I said that, a hawk just like is just flying all around me. And then my throat chakra, I just definitely don't speak my mind. I definitely just bite my tongue when things are on my mind or when things are bugging me. I won't say a thing. I just would rather deal with it and just move on and just act like it didn't happen. So she just said that does a lot of damage. You just really need to start expressing yourself, start speaking your mind, start protecting your heart, make sure that if you're bringing something to the table, the other person is bringing something to the table. I just really need to equal out relationships I have with people and not always feel like I need to do everything to keep it afloat. So that was super intense for me to hear. I was just on this mat like, what? Because you have to imagine I didn't say a word. She was just saying everything to me, and I was just like, oh wow, okay, this is intense. And my crown chakra, actually, that's this bad boy, she said is beaming. It's just bursting. It is just soaking in all the knowledge. It is in search for, it's like on the journey to enlightenment. It is just on this road. And the chakra healer, actually, she looked at me and she was like, I'm jealous of you. And I like kind of chuckled, like in insecurity, like, excuse me, like, what? She was like, no, she's like, I don't see everything, like I don't see futures or whatnot, but I see like bits and pieces of it, of what your higher self shows me, and you just are on this road to so much. And she was like, you have so much to look forward to. She's like, you have so much to look forward to. And I just like almost started crying out of happiness and also just out of safety, because two psychics and now this chakra healer all kind of telling me the exact same thing. That's not a coincidence. Like, that is actually my energy speaking, and is actually these people's energy speaking, and it's just so insane. This woman was about twice my age, and by the end of my session I just wanted to have more of a one-on-one conversation with her rather than it all about me. So I started asking her questions about herself and talking about like how she got into this. And her son is actually just a born shaman. She said that he came into this world understanding it 100%. Like, she was just like, he scares me. She's like, the things he knows, the things he says, it honestly scares me. And I was just asking her about, I was like, oh, so you see auras, you see a lot. And she's like, yeah. And she's like, but don't you know that you are going to do so much more than I even have the compatibility to do? And I was kind of like really taken back, and she's like, Marissa, honey, she's like, you are so much more powerful than you give yourself credit for. She's like, she's like, I can't put it into words of what you are. She's like, but you have something so beautiful going on around you that you don't see yet, but one day you will, and one day you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But just know that you're gonna be able to do so much more than you have any idea. She's like, right now it's difficult for you to understand because I'm not just getting into spirituality, I've always been into it, but I'm finally practicing it every day, and I'm finally making these habits my daily routine. Like, the way my mind speaks to me now is, I wish there's a way to record my brain to you guys, because lately, oh my god, these flies. Lately, my thoughts are just so powerfully uplifting that sometimes I have to stop in my tracks and be like, are these my thoughts? I have not had like positive thoughts in quite some time. Consistently positive thoughts, where I'm never looking at the negative side. I'm just always staying on that positive side. And I think that's what she was saying. She's like, you're just getting into that. You're just finally opening those doors up. And once those doors open, your path is just going to keep coming. She's like, you just have this huge, beautiful golden path right in front of you. And she said that my higher self wants me to know that I hold the key to my happiness. I actually have the key in my hands. And the door is right in front of me, but for some reason I'm taking this long route around when it's just right in front of me. And that honestly was good and also bad, because now I have to look back at what I am doing in my own reality as to why I am not just walking through the door, and why I feel the need that I need to take a longer route to the same destination when it's just right in front of me. What inside of me is doing that to myself? So that's something I have to work on, but honestly, I highly, highly, highly recommend going and getting your chakras healed and cleansed and opened. And wow, I'm going to go back for about 2 more sessions, because she said I have a little bit more that I need to get done, but it's honestly exhausting. Like, that was such an exhausting experience. And her room was ice cold. Like, ice cold. It was freezing. I got in there and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, I'm the coldest person alive. How am I going to sit in here for an hour and a half? Like, that's not going to happen. And as she was doing the session, I just started getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And the craziest thing about this whole chakra thing is I thought I was going nuts, but I kind of like peeked my eye at one point because I could feel things moving, but I knew she wasn't touching me. But you feel like little leaving your body, and I'm like, I know I might sound crazy to some people on this internet or in this world, but I swear, like, you can feel it leaving. And then my body was just so warm. It was so hot. I felt like I had a fever at one point. And then even when my mom walked in the room after my session, she's like, ooh, it's freezing in here. And I was like, I am burning hot. And she was like, that's not, like, right now I have a blanket on because it's 76 degrees and I'm freezing. Like, it was just weird. It was just so powerful, but you have to drink a lot of water after. You want to sleep forever after because you're just so tired and, like, so much has happened. But I don't know, it was such a beautiful experience, especially on my 23rd birthday, especially it being a new moon. It just, like, all aligned so beautifully. Like, yesterday on my 23rd birthday, I definitely realized that, yes, I don't have my life together quite yet. Yes, I still do not know anything, but I actually have a sense of who I am now, and I am so reassured that the path I have chosen is the path destined for me. And on my Instagram, I made quite a long post about it being my 23rd birthday, and I finally admit to the world that I am a light worker. And I am saying that now because now I am ready to show the world that I am a light worker, and I'm not going to suppress it. I've heard the word once before, and it kind of just, like, swept over my head, but this word kept revisiting me, and one day I was like, you know what? You really need to just watch a lot of stuff on this light worker stuff, do research, like, understand why this word keeps visiting you, and you need to understand why it wants to be seen by you. So I did so much research on light worker work, and I watched one video, the very first video I watched on it, and I kid you not, like, my jaw just dropped because everything this person was saying, it was the 7 traits of a light worker. Everything it was saying, it has been everything I've been saying in my videos, but just not saying I'm a light worker. But, like, how I don't understand humans, yes, that's, like, a huge light worker trait. Why I only want to be out in nature on a mountain around no one, oh my gosh, huge. Why I don't understand our society, another trait. And I cannot stand humans, but I have this urge to help them for whatever reason, even though I can't stand majority of them, but I want to help them. And it's never made sense to me. Like, I've honestly always been like, why do you want to help people that you don't like? Honestly, it's so crazy, like. And then once I realized, like, okay, that is, Marissa, what you are, okay? Like, this is it. This is that big thing that you've been hiding from your whole entire life. And how I know I'm a light worker, not even just now at 23, when I was a child, I'm going to give you examples. So when I was about 5 years old, I don't have a memory of this at all. This actually was just presented to me about a few months ago. Someone told me the story, but this woman comes over to my mom's house. I've never met her before. And she came in, and she was fine. She was acting completely normal. Like, I was a little girl. She's not going to vent out her life to me. And I believe I was playing, and I walked over to her because I can feel people. And I know this sounds so crazy. Like, some of you are actually probably going to watch this and be like, wow, this person is crazy. But I swear to you, I can feel people, like, in an intense way that I've never liked to admit to people because I always think people are going to think I'm crazy, but now's the time. I can feel people's emotions, and it makes me very uncomfortable because I can tell exactly how someone feels about me or how they feel in that moment, and I always want to fix it. I always am trying to fix it to make them more pleased, but I can feel emotions very strongly. And I always think other people can feel them too, and that's why I've never understood this world. I'm like, can't you like feel what this person's feeling right now? Like, why are you doing that? But apparently some people don't at all. They have no idea. So that's new news to me, because like anyone, I only have this body. I only have this. Like, I can't go into other people and feel and see what they see. So I think kind of everyone's like me, but in actuality, not a lot of people are like me. And that's news to me. I didn't think I was abnormal. I didn't think I was different. I don't think anything of myself. I just thought that this was me, but it's not, and it explains a lot about me. But I can feel people's emotions. I can feel animals' emotions. I almost can feel like this earth's emotions. I just feel emotions very intensely, and that's why I don't like to be in big crowds. I don't like to be in groups I don't know. I just don't like to be around people, because when you feel people's emotions, it's very draining on you. And this sparks a memory of when I'm around people that are just very down and negative, I could almost fall asleep, because it's draining me so badly that I could almost fall asleep. Like, my eyes, the person could be like literally talking and I'll be like, oh my god, Marissa, like, you're actually falling asleep. And I'll be like, what the hell's wrong with you? And then I'll leave that person and I'll have a few minutes to myself, and then I'm back to normal. Like, I'm not even tired. And I always was like, what is that? And then I go back around that person and I'm just back to like, oh my god, I like can't even like function right now. And oh my gosh, it's so intense. It's so intense. So when I feel people's emotions, it's a good and it's a bad thing, because sometimes you don't want to know how a person feels about you, but then you truly do feel how they feel about you, and then it kind of just like, that sucks. So now that I know that I'm able to shift it into a more positive light, I'm definitely more excited about this. But light workers, they came to this earth or this universe to help bring it back to a higher consciousness and to also help it. And that makes so much sense as to why I've always felt this annoying need to help people. And I thought that was through personal training. I was like, okay, so you can be a personal trainer, you can help people achieve better bodies, and that still wasn't feeding that hunger. The only thing that was feeding that hunger was those deep conversations I had with my clients during the sessions. And that's when I realized, like, that's what it is. And it's just so interesting, because now fully grasping that and understanding that, it makes me feel so much more at peace with myself and why I am so different, and why I just truly don't understand this world we live in. And we literally, like, light workers hate this place, because we know what's above. We know what's waiting for us in those higher dimensions. It's kind of like, why did we think that we need to come back here in the first place? But it's because our society is truly destroying everything. Our society is destroying everything. And man, it was just such an intense day yesterday, because I learned so much more about myself. I cleansed my chakras. I mean, these flies. I don't know why they think they need to visit me, but flies, you don't need to visit me right now. I'm in the middle of a video. I would like to be left alone. You're no longer welcome into my circle. Watch. Another fly will not come into my circle, because I spoke to these flies. Oh my gosh, I sound so insane. I just really hope that people that are into this stuff start coming to my channel, and not people that just don't know what I'm talking about come on this channel and go, oh my gosh, she's fucking nuts. Because I swear, I'm not crazy. This world is on its way to its higher consciousness. I don't know if you guys have been able to tell, but things like tarot cards, which did not expect to ever see people like start posting that or playing with those on Instagram. Like, when I used to bring out my tarot cards in front of people, like, people would call me a witch. People would be like, what is wrong with, like, it just was like, okay, Marissa, you have fun with your cards. I don't know what you're doing. And like, I mean, just to see that people are starting to bring those out, it's like, okay, like we are on our way to more of a higher conscious level. It's just going to be hard being a light worker in this transition, because there are going to be some people that completely understand you and some people that think, oh my god, you're a witch, oh my god, you're this, you're that. And no, I'm not a witch, I'm not anything, I don't cast spells, I don't drink potions, I don't make potions. I literally am just here to help humanity have an understanding that love is the only answer to this world. If you feel that you need to have the biggest house on the block and the nicest car and the trophy wife or the rich older husband, I hate to break it to you, but you're wasting your whole precious gift called life on nonsense, because life is about connections with humans, animals, flowers, plants, fish, penguins, anything and everything. Like, we are all about, life is all about the connection you can make with humans. And what is that one saying that they always say, the way to success? It's all about who you know and the connections you have. Okay, it's not about who you know and the connections you have. It's about the connection, like the actual connection you have with that person. You can know them, but you can build an actual connection with that person and be invited to a barbecue at their house or a family function. And guess what? Yeah, that person will take you under their wing and you will be on your way to success. But it's not just about knowing that person. And that's a saying that goes back forever. And really think about that saying. It is so much more in depth and it's so much deeper than we give it credit for. It's meaning the love connection you have with that person, and not a goddamn intimate love. Like, for some reason, like, our society is so wrapped up in like intimacy and sex and this and that. And it's like, no, that is like, that stuff should be the least of your worries. It's the actual conversation you can have with the person about life, about their dreams, about their desires, about their traumas, about what they, like, actual human to human conversations. And just pouring your heart out to someone rather than this fake gibberish stuff. And you wonder why our world is like failing at relationships, failing at even dating at this point. It's because we've all lost that connection of having just heart-to-heart conversations with love, because it is all about love. Like, this whole thing, life is about love. And I don't know where this will take me. I don't know where admitting to the world that I'm a light worker will take me, but all I know is it gives me such a better feeling than saying I'm a personal trainer, or I'm a model, or I'm an actress, or any title. Like, I would rather say I'm a light worker any day, because light workers are meant to bring light to the darkness. And if you haven't paid attention to this world right now, we are in a very dark place, and you can continue to bring dark to the dark world, or you could be the one person that brings a little bit of light and starts guiding people towards the right direction, and then more light is made, and then more light is made, and then pretty soon there's more of a light world than there is a dark. And isn't that what we're all in search for? Do we want to continue to live in this society? Do we continuously want to turn on the news and see terrible things going on all around the world? Or do we want to, like, feel love and feel like your neighbors are your friends and your family, and people in the supermarket have nothing but smiles, and, like, gosh, it's what, like, my soul screams and beams for humanity. Like, that's all I wish for you all, is to have that feeling or that connection with one person, that deep, genuine connection, because it's very hard in this society, but it is out there. And I highly recommend if this video even remotely touched you in some weird way, like, oh wow, everything she said I kind of feel about myself. My annoying camera, per usual, overheating and dying on me, and it's just too cold out there now. I came inside. But if that video in any way, or if anything I said resonates with you in any type of way, literally, I mean, you could be a light worker as well, and it's not some exclusive club. We aren't special, but we just now understand that why we never understood this world is because we came here to change it. Not to fight it, not to not understand it, but to help change it. And I'm very young. I am 23 years old. I do not think that I'm going to go out there and change the world. But I am hoping that with my mental health journey and my goals of what my big picture is that I will be able to help so many more souls understand that there's so much more out here than what we think is out here. And at the end of the day, life is all about love. I don't care what or who or anything. Wait, how would I say this? I don't care who or what you say. That ultimately is, at the end of the day, what life is all about. Is love, and not in an intimate way. I mean, God forbid our society for some reason thinks love means intimacy, but just love everything and anything. Love animals, love insects, love birds, love plants, love flowers, love mountains, love rocks, love trees. Love everything. Give that energy to it because it needs it. Especially our environment. Are you kidding me? I'm not even talking about just humans. I'm just talking about everything in general. But all these shifts that are going on in the world are because we are awakening and we are coming up to a higher consciousness. So even though right now it does seem very scary, trust me, I'm a little scared about it too, it is definitely what our world needs. We have to hit a rock bottom again, unfortunately. And that's kind of where we're headed, is that rock bottom. But when we hit a rock bottom, it gives us a chance to rebuild and understand that the way we all once lived is not a healthy way to live and not the answer of how to live. And we need to understand that a rock bottom is coming, but it's only for the better and the better for our society and our future and yada yada yada. But it was just a fascinating birthday, to be honest. It definitely just made me feel more comfortable with my soul because I've never understood my soul. Honest to gosh, I just always would talk to my mom or someone and just be like, why am I so different? I hate it. I hate how different I am. I hate how different I act. I hate how different I feel. I just want to be that girl that's a girl's girl that can go out and drink and have fun and talk crap and do this. Like, I wish I could just do it, but I never have been able to. It's like when I'm in the position to do it, oh my God, I freak out. I actually just freak out, and it's just not who I am. And now that I have come clean about what I believe or what I know I am, and now that I am introducing you guys more of this side to myself, I truly hope that you welcome it and that you watch these videos with more of an open mind and not so much as a closed mind. And I hope you understand that the only thing that I am selling, if selling is the correct word, is to love yourself and to love all people around you. That's it. That's all I want for the world, for you, for myself, for my dogs, for my horses, for my donkeys, for my pigs, for everything. I just want everyone to feel a sense of love and to understand that they're not alone, that there's love wherever you allow it. And sometimes you are the reason as to why love is not in your life. And if that is the reason, it means that you are not taking the time to truly love yourself. Yeah, I feel like I talked enough to you guys today. Goodbye. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Honestly, you guys don't understand what YouTube is starting to mean to me. I am growing a whole new love for this website every day because as much information as I'm trying to put out there, there's a trillion times more information out there, and that's why it's so beautiful, because it's just such a wonderful platform for our society and open-minded people and out-of-box drawing kind of people, ones that break the rules. That's like, this is our new little home, and I didn't realize it was going to feel so much like home until I started really diving into this community. And I just want to thank you guys for welcoming me into this community as much as you guys have. It truly means the world to me, and I hope that this journey just continues to blossom the way it has already started to blossom, and I will see you guys in my next video.